I'm a 28-year-old woman and my brother, 30, is getting married soon. At first, we were supportive of his fiancée, Sarah, but her true colors have come out since they started dating. She's manipulative and often belittles my brother in front of us. It's clear she doesn't want him to have close relationships with his family, especially with me. Last year, we had a family gathering where things escalated. During dinner, Sarah commented about my job, saying it was a waste of potential. I calmly confronted her, and instead of apologizing, she doubled down, claiming I was just too sensitive and that I should be grateful she's helping my brother rise above his mediocre life. It was tense, and my brother sat there without saying anything, which hurt me even more. After that, I decided to distance myself from her and told my brother I couldn't be around someone who clearly disrespects him and our family. Fast forward to now, my brother's planning his wedding and asked me to be a bridesmaid. I was shocked but flattered, yet I clarified that I'd only participate if Sarah treated everyone with respect. He assured me she'd be on her best behavior, but I wasn't convinced. A few days later, I received a text from Sarah telling me to stop being so dramatic and that she would appreciate it if I'd just be happy for them. I responded honestly, saying I couldn't pretend to be happy about their relationship when I felt uncomfortable around her. I told her I wouldn't attend the wedding if she was involved with dictating my role, that my brother wanted me there as a bridesmaid, and that I wouldn't let her ruin that for him. Now my brother's angry with me. He says I'm making a huge mistake by choosing a petty feud over family, claiming I'm being selfish. Our parents are divided. Some agree with me, while others think I should just suck it up for the sake of family harmony. So, am I the idiot for refusing to attend my brother's wedding because of his fiancé's toxic behavior? Should I just put on a brave face and deal with it for my brother? Or am I justified in standing my ground? What do you mean you wouldn't attend the wedding if she was involved? It would be her wedding. How could the bride not be involved? You're not the idiot for refusing to attend the wedding if you feel uncomfortable with how Sarah treated you and your brother. However, seriously, what are you talking about? Imagine telling a bride you won't attend the wedding if she's involved. It's like OP has forgotten what happens at weddings. Everyone's the idiot here. Sure, Sarah sounds rude and conceited, but I'm getting similar vibes from you, to be honest. Who are you to be telling a bride she can't be involved when it's her wedding? You're delusional about your role, and you overestimate your importance. She decides who the bridesmaids are, not you. I agree. Everyone's the idiot here. Sarah sounds toxic, and I can't blame OP. I hope brother comes to his senses before he marries her. Look, Sarah definitely sounds horrible, but once you tell the bride you won't be there if she is, it's game over. You would no longer be welcome at the wedding if it were me. So no, you shouldn't attend because you made your stance perfectly clear, and your presence will only create tension. You won't be happy you're there, and you don't seem like you have a good poker face about things. Either way, you're going to ruin the event for your brother. If you don't go, he'll be upset, but I doubt he'll be thrilled if you're there and angry. I lost my late wife when our children were young. She had money that was hers. We had joint and separate finances. Anything that was her separate finances is being saved for our children. The question is that I've remarried and I have a stepchild and another biological child with my present wife. She was always aware that I considered this money for the children I had with my late wife only, but recently she feels it's unfair because they have money set aside for the future that would at least help them get started after they turn 18, while we sometimes have had to make sacrifices due to inflation, etc. My stepdaughter wanted to join these dance classes that would help her in her dream of professional dancing. We couldn't afford these specific dance classes. My wife was upset. She wanted to do this so badly for my stepdaughter, and for those who will ask, the bio father's not in the picture and hasn't been found so he can pay child support. Yes, he was searched for on more than one occasion, but my wife has no idea where her ex is. She wanted to know why there was money set aside for just 2 of the kids for their future, instead of using it now to make our lives easier. I told her my late wife wanted this for them, and that I believed the money should be spent on my children with my late wife anyway. I told her we still had a good life. We just didn't have all these luxuries. And like a lot of families, we struggled when inflation hit, but we were still doing good. My wife cannot access this money, by the way, and I know that'll also be asked. I also have arrangements made in case something happens to me. My wife then said that we could pay for the extracurriculars for all 4 kids out of that money and have that off our minds, and we could get back to saving, etc. I said no. She told me I was acting like my late wife had left a will with instructions, which she didn't, and she also accused me of treating my stepdaughter and my youngest child like they were less deserving. I said the money's not mine. It was my late wife's and it'll be for our children, and my wife should stop treating it as anything else. She told me I was being very unreasonable. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The inheritance from your deceased wife was a premarital asset. It is not in the our money pot. It's in the my money pot, and you've been saving it for your children you had with your first wife. Your wife doesn't have to like it, but it is what it is. She's not entitled to use the money. Exactly. She's saying the first 2 children are privileged because they have money to look forward to, but that's there because their mother died. It's not a privilege. I hope she's not trying to guilt the 2 children about it or treating them any differently because of it. I think OP would be wise to tie it up in a trust for his eldest 2, just to take that option right off the table. It's money from their mother, not a family asset. Stepmother can get a job if she wants more money for dance classes. Yep, this. Screw your kid's grief. She wants dance classes. It's insane that the number of people who think windfalls of money they have nothing to do with should be used for themselves or their children by association. I, 30 male, and my husband, 33, have a tween daughter who's been going through severe bullying at school. It just keeps getting worse. It started with name calling, but has worsened over the past few weeks. Context, she's adopted, which is something we've always been open about and celebrated as part of her story. Recently, some kids found out about her adoption and started saying horrible things, telling her stuff like her birth mother didn't want her. They tell her that she's unwanted, tell her she's a reject, which is not the case. Her mother loved her very much, to the point she literally gave her life so she could be here. If this wasn't bad enough. A few days ago, she came home in tears, with her hair butchered. They'd cut off 2 inches of her ponytail while in class, taunting her with names and laughing at her reaction. They'll follow her through the halls to make fun of her regularly now. Both my husband and I have been in touch with the school about the bullying, more times than I can count. I've emailed, called, and even showed up in person to speak with the teachers and the principal, but all I got were empty promises that they'd look into it. Nothing has changed, and my daughter's mental health has taken a hit. She's anxious, struggling to sleep, and now begs us not to send her to school. Finally, out of frustration and feeling like no one was taking this seriously, we contacted a lawyer to explore legal action against the school and the bully's family. Only when the school and our parents learned we were considering legal action did they start to act. Suddenly, the school calls me to say they're moving the bully out of my daughter's class and claimed they had a talk with her. The girl's parents reached out too, saying they'd talked to their daughter and promised it would stop. But honestly, I don't believe them. It feels like they're all saying this just to get me to back off and avoid the legal consequences. I worry that once the dust settles, things will return to how they were, and my daughter will still be dealing with this. My family thinks I should give the school and the parents a chance now that they're finally taking action, but I feel like it's all for show. So am I the idiot for moving forward with the legal action, even though the school and the bully's parents now claim they're handling it? Yeah, sorry. Bullying with name-calling is one thing. Physical abuse to a child by cutting her hair during class is completely different. Why didn't the teacher do anything? Why did the teacher allow scissors in class? Why was the bully not sent to the principal immediately? Why weren't you notified immediately? Why did your baby have to come home with messed up hair, basically a signature of abuse, for you to find out about it? I'd be suing the school and the teacher directly for neglect, as well as the kid's family for abuse. Not the idiot. Protect your kid. Teacher here, I can promise you that this family is a bunch of bullies, at their jobs, with people in general, and they've been getting away with it forever. This is a lesson that their child must learn now. I can also promise you that if your child defended herself in any way that caused the bully shame or harm, your child would have been punished severely by the school, and the bully's parents wouldn't back down. I'm pretty sure that the kids who cut your daughter's hair could be charged with battery, so I hope your attorney is suggesting you consider possible charges, if possible. Do not back down. My friend has a tween foster daughter. They're homeschooling the girl because she gets overwhelmed around big groups of people and because she goes to other programs and services during the day. All of this meant she didn't get many opportunities to be around other kids. So my friend invited us and another family over and told us to bring our kids so her daughter could get used to being around other children. Our kids are tween male, and pre-tween female. The other kids were nearly adult male and pre-tween female. She tried, but the place wasn't set up very well for the kids. She had a little marble run set, magnet tiles, board games, and coloring sets set up in the living room for the kids. Her daughter saw it and asked if those were her toys. My friend said no, and that she got new ones for them to share with the other kids. Then she asked about the games, and my friend said yes, those were their games. The girl picked up the boxes and took them to her room. My friend couldn't talk her into sharing them and refused to tell her they were for everybody. The toys were also set up for younger kids, so the boys started to get bored. I asked about turning on the TV, and she told me that she can plug it in, but she doesn't have cable or streaming, so they can only watch whatever's free on Roku. We sent the boys outside to play on her trampoline, even though it was cold. Her daughter only colored with the girls when her mom was with her. Then after 20 minutes, she wanted to play by herself and locked herself in her room. She came out when dinner was ready and refused to sit with the other kids. There was pasta, chicken, buttered noodles, and salad available. However, she still refused to eat any of it. So her mom had to get up and make mac and cheese and dino nuggets just to get her to eat. After dinner, she sat in her mom's lap and refused to move until we went home. She thanked us while we were leaving and said that this was great for her daughter. I told her that watching her kids get special treatment and take things away from them wasn't good for the rest of the kids, so she needed to wait until her daughter could be around people before she hosted them again. She thinks I was extremely rude and didn't need to say anything, but someone needs to tell her that she can't have other kids over if that's how her kid behaves. Am I the idiot? Wow, you are the idiot. Big time. Worse than that, your egocentrism and lack of perspective terrifies me. Are you so obtuse and uncaring that you thought this playdate was somehow all about you and your kids? It didn't occur to you that a foster child, who has obviously been taken from her home for reasons we probably can't begin to understand, might not be 100% upon manners and sharing? That she and your friends are navigating territory that you, in your perfect world, would never understand. I hope your friend keeps you far away from her and this child. You don't seem to have the ability to show empathy and compassion in any way. Your remark was thoughtless and ignorant. I will pray for your friend, who's doing her best to help this child find comfort and safety. We need more people like her in this world. People like you, not so much. She 100% thought that the playdate was about her and her kids being hosted at her friend's house, and that it was not a learning playdate for her friend's daughter. She for sure didn't have a gentle talk with their kids about how to behave and try to engage. She thought it was the foster daughter who would play and entertain everyone so her boys wouldn't get bored. Wow, OP. I have two sisters. Jenna, 39, is the oldest, and Kate, 36, is the middle. I'm 28 female, the youngest of the girls in our family. Jenna started dating Joe, 40 male, in high school, and they got married at 20 and had their first child 3 years later. Together they had Belle, teen female, Kai, young teen male, and Soren, young teen male. When the kids were younger, Jenna learned that Kate and Joe were having an affair. She kicked Joe out and disowned Kate from that day forward. The kids were at least a little aware that Dad and Aunt Kate were together too fast for it not to have started when he was married to Mom. It ruined Kate's relationship with the kids. They were close before, and Jenna was always glad they turned against Kate and didn't turn her into mom number 2. Kate and Joe ended up getting married, and Kate tried to pretend that she was now just a stepmom to the kids, or a second mom. I sided with Jenna and made it clear to Kate that I thought she and Joe were so gross, and even if they hadn't done Jenna dirty, which they did, they had made life so much more complicated for the kids. Of all the kids, Belle is the most vocal and clearly against Kate. She tells Kate she hates her, and she makes it her mission to make Kate's life hard every time she's with her and Joe. She doesn't ignore the fact that her dad is to blame, but he's far less interested in healing his relationship with his kids. But Kate cares a whole lot, from what I've been told. I don't really see or speak with her anymore, but I'm close with the kids, and other family members see them together sometimes. Anyway, Belle has really given Kate a hard time, and it bothers Kate. And until recently, she thought she could win them around. But then she found out that Belle had spilled publicly to friends, friends' parents, people at school, and people in Kate's life who she works with, that Kate and Joe had an affair, and Kate and Jenna are sisters. People have seriously turned on Kate, and it's hurt her socially at work. She's also being snubbed more in general. Kate was hurt and tried to come to me for comfort and advice on what to do, rebel. But I told her she should talk to our brothers, 33 and 30, or someone who does support her. I told her I wasn't going to be able to give any good or helpful advice, and that she was just dealing with the consequences of what she did to our sister. She told me I still could be a better sister to her, instead of refusing to offer my support. She said no matter what, we're still sisters, and she did nothing to me. Am I the idiot? What to do? Don't sleep with married men. Not the idiot. Unfortunately, Kate found out, and now she has to deal with it. That anyone in your family still talks to her is very compassionate and forgiving. Kate broke the family bonds when she had an affair with her sister's husband. She has no right to claim that being sisters means you owe her anything. Being family is much more than biology. It is hilarious of her to ask you to be a better sister after what she did to Jenna. She's reaping the consequences of her own actions. She decided sleeping with her sister's husband was worth losing everything and everyone. So I don't know why she's so confused now.